Let's go!
Yeah, let me just scroll through this and see what I can find. That was from July 9th. What is this one?
We want the best online experience possible for 2XKO. So let's talk about Netcode. Netcode's how game clients talk to the game server. You press a button and that input is sent over the network, so you and your opponent see the output in your game. Basically, it lets you play online against other players. Fighting games take Netcode very seriously, because your input timing matters a ton. The better the netcode, the smoother your online experience feels. Our approach to rollback netcode applies some unique tech that Riot uses for games like League and Valorant. It also includes dedicated servers and Riot Direct, our own hosting system. On a related note, there won't be regional crossplay in Alpha Lab, but we're planning to support cross-region private matches in the future. We'll also be using Vanguard.
That makes sense. Here's the crazy part. Even with rollback netcode, even with really good rollback netcode, asking people to go into other regions to fetch matches for you generally doesn't work out great. Even Street Fighter only recently got into cross-regional stuff, right? For a very long time, they were not, right? They were sort of like limited to who you could play, so you kind of played the same people over and over again. The funny thing is that even if you do have a person that is cross-regional, like SoCal to the UK or something, it probably will work okay. The issue is that it won't work okay for every single person you play, and how good and high quality that connection could be very unstable. You know, like you could have a really good connection with somebody and then somebody else has got some funky ass Wi-Fi and there's just no way it's going to run well. Not every single person is equal.
Riot's custom game security software and anti-cheat tool to ensure the highest level of competitive integrity in your games. That's all we can share for now, but we'll release a super deep dive into the tech behind 2XKO in the future. We want the best online experience.
Yeah. So this is as translation, smooth brain translation. This is talking about server-based rollback netcode. It is technically not peer-to-peer, and for people that don't know what that means, peer-to-peer means in most fighting game situations to lower the amount of lag that could be between players. You don't want stuff getting in the way of your connection. So the more places you have to connect to, the more input delay is going to be registered. You have to go from like point to point to point to point. So with rollback netcode as a solution, and with server-based, right? You connect to a server, and this distance is effectively like the rift, the in-between parts, where the connection is going to be either suffering or not suffering. There's also a chance that you connecting to something relatively local. This is an issue if you live in some place that's rural, right? If you live in some place that's not close to a city or something like that, because you're just going to be further away from it. Your experience is not going to be the same for both ends. That's the only problem with this. Virtua Fighter has a similar problem where Virtua Fighter absorbs the delay by putting servers in between the players and you connect to the server. But depending on how far away one player is from the server, they could be significantly farther than the other. That will not be the same experience. In peer-to-peer, it's the same experience, right? The guy on the opposite end is going to be massively delayed and your end is going to be also massively delayed. It's just the way it is. This is also expensive, yes. This will solve some problems with rollback netcode and also give you the ability to have potentially better quality matches. That is true, but this is way more expensive. This is something that only companies like Riot could afford. You don't exactly need to do this, but this is a game that's almost all of it going to be played online, right? In the same way that like League and all these other games sort of operate, they're just using the same sort of system to make their shit run that way.
When you launch 2XKO for the first time, select Fight and choose Tutorial Mode from the menu at the top of the screen. Follow the guides on the left to learn your abilities and assists. When you finish the tutorial, you might want to practice your new moves. Select Fight and then go to Training Mode. At the start of every game, you select...
I mean, look at this UI. That is definitely a UI.
And then go to Training Mode. At the start of every game, you select your champions and your fuse. The default fuse is the Pulse Fuse, which lets you do combos with light, medium, or heavy attacks. Use this Pulse Fuse to get a feel for the game and what your champ does. Once you're more advanced, try changing your playstyle with other fuses. Once you've locked in, Training Mode will put you in a match with a few training dummies. There are tons of settings to choose from. You can find the menu
Cool.
input in the bottom right. Check out the command list to see what your champion does. If you want to fight against some bots, select bot settings, then switch the controller setting option from training bot to CPU. From there, you can change all kinds of things about the bot's behavior, like difficulty level. We recommend starting with the lowest setting until you get used to the game. Dynamic is also a fun option, which will have the CPU adjust its difficulty over time to match yours within a single session. And that's all you need to know for your Alpha Lab training arc. The best way to learn is by fighting other players, but if you want to study up, training mode's full of tools to help you get better at the game in no time.
So it's generous, you know? It is generous. Like in previous situations of some fighting games, their beta is a beta. So you're going to be playing online or bust. And I get that. I do understand it because you need information. You don't need people to be spending time offline. You need information. What I'm trying to say is that what 2XKO is doing is generous. They're giving you as much to play the game as possible and just to let you play either offline or online or whatever, you know? It's not like, I wonder if there's a situation where you queue into training and it technically queues you into a matchmaking spree where it just starts looking for people. Probably not. What is this?
I wander, but you are lost.
Oh, this is the alternate costume. That is an alternate costume in vertical format. Is it the same thing
Here's
for
some
her?
of the stuff you'll see outside the game in Alpha Lab, our upcoming playtest. An early version of the Battle Pass will be automatically unlocked for all Alpha Lab players.
And there
Among
you
other
go.
Things, the Battle Pass will include 2 skins, Blade Song Yasuo and Dynasty Ari, which can be equipped in Champion Select before any match. We want you to get an idea of what playing with different skins is like in this test, so be sure to let us know what you think. You can
We
also
want to
unlock
get you an idea of what playing with certain skins is like because it's primarily the way they will be making money.
So be sure to let us know what you think. You can
Again, a reminder, Chad, this game's free to play. They have to start conditioning you at some point.
also unlock alternate colors for these skins, which we call chromas. You can earn these and other Battle Pass rewards by playing games, completing missions.
But to be real, like if we're talking about Battle Pass rewards that are good and not just like stickers, yeah, dude, colors, please. Like colors for existing skins, new skins, like new skins and colors for my characters is like, that is the shit that will get me playing more. Where it's like, ooh, there's a color on level 17 or some shit. I'm going for that.
And spending in-game credits, which are the main currency you earn by playing 2XKO.
Yeah, the issue, most of the time, the issue isn't that a game has a battle pass. The issue is that most of the battle pass sucks. in a lot of fighting games, a lot of the battle passes are just full of meandering bullshit to the point where you have to work so hard to get the thing that's actually kind of cool. And how many things are kind of cool? Well, maybe 2 or 3 tops, maybe 2 or 3. So it's like the challenge is creating a battle pass that seems enticing and sort of worth it, you know?
Remember, all Battle Pass progress, content, and credits will reset after Alpha Lab, so make sure you use them before Alpha Lab ends on August 19th.
That makes sense. What's this?
If Alpha Lab is the first time you'll be playing 2XKO, or it's just been a while since you picked up the game, here's a quick refresher on what to expect. We want 2XKO to be the best fighting game to play with your friends. Battles can be fought
100% chat. If you are not super versed into the mechanical depth of a fighting game and you just kind of enjoy it and you want to jump into the game quickly and just have fun, you 1000% should be playing the pulse fuse. And again, fuses are like the grooves. They give you mechanics, and there's like unique mechanics per fuse. There's a fuse called pulse, and what it does is allow for very basic auto combos. They're not good particularly, but they're super basic, and they use meter. They'll also use your resources if your resources are available. So I highly recommend. I did it. I legit used it at Evo because I had no time to play the game, and we had to demo the game. I didn't know what the moves of the characters were and everything like that. So it was like, okay, so just give me the pulse fuse because I know that's going to work. And then I can go back when the game eventually comes out or the Alpha Lab comes out and find real combos. If you're just jumping into this and you want to have fun, 100% you should be using Pulse Fuse. It's super fun. And it allows you just to get to the fun stuff of the game relatively quick without being the best of the best, you know, stuff the game has to offer.
2v2, 1v1, or even 2v1.
It's very much like
So
Street
it's up
Fighter
to you
6.
whether you want to fight
Very
solo
much.
or with a friend on your team. When you're playing solo, both champions are controlled by you. But if you're playing with a friend,
And it also is similar to the way Street Fighter 6 is, because what is the issue with modern mode in Street Fighter 6? Well, there's a negative to it. You lose moves. You lose access to certain normals and stuff like that, right? So, and you lose damage. That's another big part of it. It's the exact same shit in a different way in 2XKO. Pulse Fuse, you lose the access of a cool mechanic in all the other ones like double tag or DHC or all that cool shit. Pulse Fuse is exclusively the auto combo. Similar to Street Fighter, I like this route that games are going, the modern mode, the Pulse Fuse. I really dig this where it's like the game is compromised in some way to allow you to do easy, flashy shit. And the easy, flashy shit isn't even actually that good, but it just gets you straight forward to the fun stuff. And there is a compromise, either lower damage or you don't get access to the other stuff. DHC is a fuse, yes. There's like an X Factor fuse, there's a DHC fuse, there's a multi-tag fuse. All these other fuses are mad cool, don't get me wrong. They're super cool. They don't give you auto combos, which is why they lock auto combos to a singular thing called the Pulse Fuse.
assists are controlled by your teammate.
They're nowhere close to optimal.
The game's tag mechanics are designed to put your team synergy to the test. We hope you have a blast trying them out. Our Alpha Lab build will include the Spirit Hills.
So yeah, that's my recommendation. Use the Pulse Fuse at the start. And if the game seems like really fun and you like it, then turn it off and try one of the other fuses because they make the game even crazier.
And Alawi. During Champ Select, you'll also be able to choose what we're calling fuses. Unique playstyle options designed to give your team that extra edge. The Pulse Fuse is the default way to play 2XKO and what we recommend starting with.
You smart bastards, they did it! So they're doing what Fatal Fury needs to do. They're doing what Street Fighter 6 did, and they're doing what needs to happen for Fatal Fury. Because Fatal Fury has the same thing. It has like a simplified control mode, but it's not available by default. Modern mode is default. The game starts that way. And it's great that Pulse Fuse is the default as well in 2XKO. Because you just jump in and start hitting buttons, you will get results. And I think that's a very good idea.
Gives you access to some solid auto combos by stringing together repeat.
Don't get me wrong, I think Fatal Fury will change that by the time it comes out.
And it's a great way to get a feel for what your favorite champions can do. The rest of our fuses are a bit more advanced, so please feel free to try them out as you get more familiar with the game and champions to find out which
So happy, right? I'm so happy they made this change. I'm ridiculously, I think this is such a smart change. Like, thank God. Thank you, 2XKO devs. This is such a smart change. The implementation of it, what it does, it's so smart.
We'll also be dropping more info on what...
This is the way you make your fighting games more accessible without taking away the higher level, right? This is the way you do it. And we're finding... And without nerfing the whole goddamn game. We went through the era of, let's just nerf the whole game to make it more accessible. Now they're just like, well, let's just give people accessibility in certain ways with compromise.